I get to work with a lot of Amazon sellers, and it's extremely cool to see how fast people grow and scale their businesses. Myself, I could barely check an email when I started on Amazon, and before I knew it, I was doing 7 figures in sales and trying to figure this thing out without the backbone that a lot of companies have for large sales. I didn't have a CMO, I didn't have financial advisors, I didn't have any of that stuff. I was figuring it out. Now, one thing that I've learned over the past several years working with a lot of different companies that are scaling is that cash flow is king, and leveraging, when appropriate, working capital is one of the smartest things you can do. Every business out there does it. Even big businesses like Lego and Nike and the big companies and the big brands that you think have mountains of cash, they actually borrow money to buy inventory because it actually makes more sense to not tie up all of your cash for inventory. So when Alta was created, and Alta is the financial services platform with Helium 10, Alta was created with a working capital solution called a credit limit. Now, to apply and be eligible for the credit limit, there is some criteria that must be met, and it's really to protect you. Because here's the thing about Amazon is you're going to make mistakes, you're going to pick some bad products, you're going to have to get through a learning curve, and I personally don't believe that you should leverage yourself to the hilt to get started on Amazon. Start slowly, get a few sales, figure out the system, make sure you're profitable. After you become profitable, you can leverage working capital to then scale. So with Alta, requirements have to be met for sales volume and time spent selling. All right, so once you hit 6 months in sales and a low sales threshold, you're eligible to apply. Now here's what makes the Alta credit limit very, very special. Most banks don't care about your e-commerce business. Most banks don't understand it. Trying to get a credit limit or working capital from a bank, a lot of times they want 2 years of tax returns and they want to understand your business model, which the banking system, frankly, is fairly archaic and they're going to have a hard time doing. So when the Alta credit limit system was built, it was built specifically to look at marketplace performance and potential growth. So when you apply for the credit limit through Alta, the first thing you do is you're going to connect your marketplace store. If you have multiple marketplaces, you can do that as well. But you're going to connect your marketplace store through the MWS token, which you should have covered already in a different module. It's extremely easy to do. And Alta will actually connect to your store and check future performance models. So where a lot of banks and frankly other lending solutions look at your past performance, Alta looks at your future performance. And it looks at things like, well, maybe 2 or 3 months ago they had great sales and their sales dropped off. It doesn't mean the business is declining. It'll also look at the parameter of, are they out of inventory? Well, if it determines, yes, they're out of inventory and that's why the sales drop, then there's more reason to fund. So the funding option specifically looks at your marketplace performance, and it specifically looks at growth potential, and it offers multiple currencies, multiple solutions that you can borrow from. Now, again, I'm not saying leveraging yourself to the hilt is a good idea, and you definitely don't want to borrow money out of things like desperation. You don't want to borrow money out of things like, a need to pay other expenses because your business isn't profitable. But if your business is profitable and the big thing holding you back is not having enough inventory, then leveraging working capital to buy that inventory can be extremely, extremely beneficial. Now, once you've applied, if you're accepted and approved and you accept an offer for a credit limit, that credit limit will give you a total balance that's available to you. Now, let's say you're offered $100,000 in the credit limit. That doesn't mean that you need to accept $100,000 right away. It doesn't mean that you have to take it all in one disbursement. You can actually select multiple drawdowns of different amounts as you need it. And each drawdown, you can actually select the term length. So you can say, oh, I need a drawdown of $10,000 now for 3 months. And you see exactly how much that'll cost you in the Alta platform. 3 months later, you might need $50,000, and you can draw down $50,000, select the term length that you want to have that money for, pay back. You can even do things like select interest-only periods and say, hey, for the first 2 months, I only want to pay interest. Now that's important because the life cycle of a private label seller, it might be a couple months before you actually start getting the revenue off the inventory you're purchasing today because of the supply chain lags, right? By the time you place the order's produced, ship the order, lands in Amazon. So that interest-only deferment is really, really powerful. The other thing that the Alta credit limit does is crosses borders. Traditionally, if I'm in Australia, and that's where my business is, and I have an Amazon.com US store, I can't get lending on either side. A US bank's not going to lend me money because I'm in Australia. An Australian bank's not going to lend me money because all my inventory and sales are in the US. With Alta, we can cross those borders, which is really, really powerful. So Alta will allow merchants to access working capital based on the sales of multiple platforms, while they themselves can be located nearly anywhere in the world. So really, really powerful stuff. So again, working capital solutions, there's a completely customized e-commerce specific solution, which is in the Alta platform. Signing up and getting checked for your eligibility is extremely simple. It takes about 5 minutes. Just go to the Alta tab on the side of your dashboard there in Helium 10, or go to growwithalta.com to apply for that. Connect your storefront, see what you're eligible for, and if it makes sense for you, then you can usually get funding in as little as about 48 hours, which is pretty fast. So I hope this has helped. I hope that I've done two things. One is I've convinced you that sometimes leveraging working capital is a good idea, but also make sure you understand that nobody in this industry that gives good advice is going to tell you just to borrow money, borrow money, borrow money. Only do it responsibly when it's appropriate. And in my opinion, the appropriate time is when you have a profitable product and you just need working capital to scale that product and scale your profitability. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching this module, and we'll see you on the next one.